Salute, salute, salute. Blow. Blessings. What it is, what it do, what's happening, man. Nocturnal thoughts with a real quick video, then I'm going to get out the way. So, watched the press conference the other day. El Bandera Rojo, the Mexican monster, versus Boo Boo, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who is unafraid, very relaxed, jovial, sarcastic. Woo! Benavides versus, it's going to be Benavides versus Andrades. You know what I'm saying? He is in his comfort zone. He chilling, stone cold. But what a unique little character Demetrius Andrade is. You know, something about the way when they did their face off. And then, you know, they turned to the side. And Demetrius kind of grabbed him and shook him a little bit, playing around. And then the smile on David Benavides' face. Something about that made me say, man, this dude might go in here and finesse David Benavides. You know what I'm saying? Putting his guards down. You know what I'm saying? You know, making them think it's all funny games. But it's like, playtime is over, boy. The thing about Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade is he fights to the level of his competition. And to me, he don't necessarily go in for the kill. I've heard other people say that. So parroting that, regurgitating that. 903 Boxing with the host Charles J said that. He kind of played with his food a little bit. He'd come in there fast, awkward style, abstract art type of style of boxing. Get his man discombobulated, knock him down. And then next thing you know, I'm watching 2, 3, 4 rounds pass where he's not going in for the finish. David Benavides is at the opposite end of that spectrum. He's seeking destroy. You know, he got those octopus type of punches where they just start coming at you from everywhere fast. Got that snappy, strong jab. You know what I'm saying? Cuts off the ring. Kind of got a menacing or plotting style. Try to intimidate his opponent with his size. He's been working on his speed. You've seen him improve over the years from what he did to Darrell to what he did to Caleb Plant. But Caleb Plant, to me, I keep hearing people compare Caleb Plant to Boo Boo Andrade in a style. And I'm like, I don't see that much of a resemblance as far as their style, their mentality, their craft. It's just totally different to me. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade is much more of a threat to me. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments below. Because I like Caleb Plant's little style. You know what I'm saying? You know, typically he gets off to a good start and great boxer. But then I feel like he fatigues. And then he starts to get too lackadaisical with his defense. And he might get caught with something ugly and get, you know, stopped. Like what he did with Canelo and what he did with David Benavides, El Bandera Rojo, the Mexican monster, right? At the end of the day, man, I don't want to sleep on Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and his style because it is abstract art. And the thing about art, usually, the better it is, the more misunderstood it is, the more unappreciated that it is. And I feel like Demetrius Andrade is not appreciated enough from me. You know what I'm saying? I have always not valued his style as much because of what I prefer to see. Like, I love the sweet science in the boxing and, you know what I'm saying, dancing on the water and not get wet and hit and not get hit and being awkward and being abstract and throwing punches from weird angles that nobody really can see. But I like to see brutal knockouts as well. So my style favors David Benavides more when I see him stalking, walking you down, pressure you, break you down and hurting you, blooding you up and bludgeoning and, you know what I'm saying, pulverizing. And I like that style in comparison. But those two coming together and fight in this mega fight of two undefeated champions is an interesting dynamic, because at the end of the day, this is the best of the best in that weight class. I think that if Demetrius Andrade was to fight Canelo, like, fuck Canelo, man. Fuck Canelo. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. This is my night. This is my night. Get the fuck out of here. If Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade would have fought Canelo, I think he could embarrass Canelo. If David Benavides, the Mexican monster El Bandera Rojo, fights Canelo, I think he can hurt Canelo. So these two dudes coming together is just really going to chase Canelo even further away. But for me personally, what I want to see is the contrast in the style. This is like a yin-yang type of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got two separate styles. And I want to see how they're going to merge and clash, and what it's going to create. What kind of artist it's going to create when you got a slick boxer with awkward punches who is just abstract and makes up things out of the blue, versus a guy that is consistent, blunt force object, fast hands, menacing, and going in for the kill. So, and there's no bad blood, just business, and it's just boxing. So it's just going to be a level of skill on display, you know. So I expect to see something different from the Mexican monster, and I expect to see something different from Boo Boo Andrade. I'm expecting to see the cream of the crop rise to the top, and, you know, they should bring out the best in one another. So it's an awesome fight. It's a great dynamic, two versatile styles, and you don't know what to expect besides fireworks and a barn burner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just see a combustion. And as far as who I think gonna come out on top of that explosion, that's a video for another day. But at the end of the day, I like David Benavides inside the ring and outside the ring, and his story. I love his story, actually, as far as like being a little chubby kid that nobody really was looking at as far as being a talented boxer, and his brother was getting to shine, and then him just kind of surpassing his brother and becoming like a whole brand and carrying the torch, taking it further and further than what, you know what I'm saying, that people could foresee when he was a little chubby kid in all of other great fighters. And Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, I feel like he didn't put in his work, but for me personally, kind of was underneath the radar. I would check in with him here and there, but it seemed like he started having a little bit too much inactivity. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see what he's going to bring to the table. It's just, right now, boxing is in bizarro world. And this is the only fight that really makes sense. Like Canelo versus Jermell Charlo is bizarro world. Upside down, awkward shit. Just like Jermell Charlo fighting Jose Benavides is awkward. It's bizarro. It's like people going so crazy on Jermell Charlo against Canelo, even though it's supposed to be Jermall Charlo. But people was talking about now, people talking about Terrence Bud Crawford versus Canelo. But we finna have Jose Benavides, who got beat by Terrence Bud Crawford, fight Jermall Charlo. It's just all these weight divisions. It's this bizarre world in boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you're gonna get and who gonna match up. Some of these matchup styles and sizes and things, just, you know, they want Gervonta Tank Davis to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. They want Terrence Bud Crawford to fight Canelo. You know what I'm saying? They want, Monster Anyway to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. It's just all mix and match. But what makes sense to me with David Benavides is Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I feel like this fight makes the most sense, and it actually shows like a level of boxing going in the direction where, okay, now we're going to be back to the best fighting the best. You know what I'm saying? Without, you don't have to have all the accolades and the trinkets and you don't have to have a storyline. You don't have to have, just like, to me, Tim Tszyu versus Mendoza. That's a fight that kind of makes sense to me. So I'll be checking that out this weekend. Other than that, don't want to stretch this video out too long. This is Nocturnal Thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the first press conference of El Bandero Rojo, David Benavides, the Mexican monster, versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, or Andrade, whatever you prefer. Salute, salute, salute.